Yeah, it is a very personal story, much like the characters in the movie. My father passed away when I was about a year old, and my brother was 3. So as you can imagine, we don't remember him at all, but we always wondered, who he was and how we were like him. And I think that question became the seed of Onward, which is what if you could meet him? What if you could have one day? And what would you learn? What would you ask? And yeah. And then we added elves and sprites to that incredibly sad story.
So close already, before we even came onto this film, it was almost like we were just playing ourselves. But the similarities between Ian and myself go back to more when I was sort of in my early teens, 12, 13. I was a little bit of an introvert. I was a very nervous kid and I had a hard time at school. And it wasn't until I went on this adventure that was Billy Elliot, where I sort of came out of my shell and I became more confident in myself and I believed in myself. And what drew me so much to this character was that we get to see that entire journey that I went on as a kid in him throughout this film. So I just was really happy to kind of pour my past experiences into this process. And I'm really delighted and thrilled to where we got to.
How about you, Chris?
Hello. These couches are really nice looking. I don't know who made them, but this is built for somebody who has a room that no one will ever sit in. It's a couch for a very rich person. Because as soon as someone sits on this couch, you'll be like, yeah, let's take this back. This couch. So, just a quick criticism of the couch before I open. Yeah. One thing that I really like in seeing, and I'm not sure that I was ever intentional or if I just noticed this while watching the movie, but it was a note that Dan gave me that was actually against my own instinct. But I'm very glad that we went with what he wanted to on this, which was Barley was never jealous of the fact that he didn't have the magic gift. And I think that to me, I didn't realize until seeing the movie, was something very similar to my own relationship with my brother, in which I was the Ian. I was the younger brother. Have you guys seen the movie?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you know what I'm talking about. So
I haven't. They won't show me until the premiere. I'll spoil it.
So now that you've seen the I get so caught up in trying to explain what the movie is, so if you've seen the movie, this is going to be much easier for me to describe what I'm talking about. But I was Ian, and my brother was Barley. And my brother, for instance, always wanted to be an actor. He was an actor he did plays. The first time I ever saw my mom cry was watching him do a play. He was a Boo Bear in the 1st grade, Christmas play, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Being an actor is awesome. I want to be an actor. My brother did all of these assemblies in high school, so I followed his footsteps. I did all of these assemblies. Anyways, he went in the army, he didn't become an actor, but I became an actor. And there was that moment where Barley realizes that Ian has the gift. And he comes in, and the line, my instinct, I was like, do you think Barley wishes that he had the magic gift? Because he's the one who loves magic. He wasn't able to do this, but his younger brother was. And I think this was really the heart of the film, is he loves his brother so much that he's just so proud of him, that he has this gift, that he's been given this gift. And when I saw that in the movie, how it was expressed, it really made me appreciate how my brother was with me, because my whole life, he's always and during my career, only ever been super encouraging and positive about what I've been able to do as an actor. And I think that's what makes this brotherhood and this relationship so special, and it's why grown men come up to me and say, wow, I really was moved, I really cried, just like Field of Dreams or Radio Flyer to me. And the reason why is because it celebrates a love between a brother, and between two brothers, and that brotherhood. And that oftentimes is not something you see in movies. What you see is the older brother who doesn't let the younger brother hang out with him, who doesn't take him to school, says, get out of here, nerd, get out of here, twerp. It's like that contentious brotherhood. You see that all the time. It's kind of a caricature of what real relationships are with brothers, because the truth is, brothers love each other. And so I love that. I really like that, and I identify probably more with Ian in terms of my own relationship with my brother, but I really loved that moment. I'm glad that you stuck with that, because that's great. And your instincts ring through all the time. I'm always bullying directors into doing what I wanted to do, and I couldn't do that with him. And he just made me do exactly what he wanted all the time, and I'm just so glad.
A way in which this father could come back to life. That was really the reason behind the magic. We could have done a version where, and even considered one, where the boys were scientists who built a machine that brought Dad back, and the magic just felt more romanticized. And again, then we didn't want to set it in an old-timey fantasy world, because it's a very modern story, and if these boys had all been in robes and their father was in robes, it just would have been ridiculous. So we thought, let's do a modern one, and there's a, like you said, there's a sort of natural humor that comes out of that. And I think the world mirrors Ian in a lot of ways. Like, the world of this movie is people who have, out of just becoming kind of complacent and even fearful of taking risks, they've lost their potential. And Ian is a kid who's never lived up to his because he's insecure and fearful. So it's always nice when the world and the characters can kind of mirror that, and we just wanted to show dirty unicorns.
Yes, that would probably be my grandfather. I think much like the film, I would just want to hang out with him and probably ask him a ton of questions. My family wasn't great about passing on family history, and so there are a lot of blanks, a lot of areas that I don't know about. So I think I would just want to ask a ton of questions.
I would probably see my dad. I feel like and then maybe take him to see the movie, and then he'd say, no. No, I mean, you know, you're just spending a day just talking, just walking around and asking, and also letting him know what a phenomenal job my mother did raising us and how she gave us everything we could have ever wanted, and yeah.
My granddad, Bob, he never actually met his dad. His dad passed away when he was 18 months, so I would bring back my great-grandfather, so my granddad would have the opportunity to meet his dad.
So selfless.
I would probably bring back my dad, who passed away just before Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and then I would show him Guardians of the Galaxy, and then if he didn't like it, I'd bring back like a known criminal and beat him up on like Instagram Live to become popular. Because if my dad didn't like Guardians, I'd be like, all right, you go back to heaven.
We certainly didn't want to make a movie that was saying technology was bad, because technology is how we make our movies. It's magic in its own way. It was really a softer look at you know, the ease that comes with it, the comfort that comes with it sometimes, and just not giving up on taking the hard road a little every now and then, challenging yourself. As I mentioned earlier, magic is really a metaphor for potential in this movie. And when you look at some of the characters in the film, they're not throwing away everything modern. They're just getting in touch a little bit with that challenge in life, getting outside and trying something new.
I think the film, being called Onward, the only way to go onward is to look forward. And you can't look forward if you're looking at your phone. Look out, the world is an amazing place, it's a beautiful place. Experience it through your own eyes, not through someone else's Instagram account, you know?
Chris, any last comments on the couch before we wrap things up?
No, I'm just kidding. I think this couch is lovely.
I want a YouTube series now where you just review couches.
Well, the problem with I'll tell you the problem with this couch, okay? No one, it's designed for like an NBA player. Like, no one's like femurs are as long as this. So if I want to sit with my legs touching the floor, my back's not touching the couch, I gotta do this. The proportions are stupid. It's like I have to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to sit at this couch comfortably. And now I have to sit like this, and I'm mostly concerned because I know there's the camera, it's a terrible angle. Shoot, I don't know who came up with this couch. Hopefully you're in this room and you feel shame.